Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good day to all of you. So today we will continue our tutorials, which is limits of a functions when a function involve a trigonometric function. So in order to solve limits which a function involve trigonometric function, we have two identities, two theorem, which is the first one, limit x approaches to 0 for function sine x over x equal to 1, and then the second one, limit x approaches to 0, 1 minus cos x over x equal to 0. The most important part that you need to understand when we want to use these theorems, the first one, make sure limit approaches to 0 for both part. If not approaches to 0, we can substitute directly and then you can get the answer. The second one, make sure the angles of the trigonometric must be equal to the denominator. Okay, if your angle is x, make sure your denominator is x. If your angle is 2x, make sure your denominator equal to 2x. So if this angle and denominator is equal, then we can get whether equal to 1 or equal to 0. Okay, if the angle and denominator is not equal, so we need to modify on the denominator part. The angles you cannot modify. If you want to modify the angles, we need to use the trigonometric identities, which is quite difficult lah. So better you modify on the denominator part. For example, if you have limit x approaches to 0 sine 3x over x, over x here, so your angle is equal to 3x, so we need to modify on the denominator part, so we need to times by 3. If your denominator part times by 3, so your numerator should times by 3. So we can see that this one is equal to 1 by using the first identities. Okay, so we can get 3 times 1 equal to 3. 1 come from this one. Okay, so now looks on the exercise question number 5. Evaluate the limit for each of the following. So you have limit t approaches to 0, sine 3t divided by t times by t plus 9. So we can solve these problems by using limit t divided by 0, sine 3t over t times by t plus 9. So if you can see that your angle is 3t. Okay, since your angle is 3t, so your denominator also involve of 3t. So here only t, so you must times by 3. If you times by 3 there, so your upper part also must times by 3. So then you not change the value of the function. So this one we can solve limit t approaches to 0, 3 sine 3t divided by 3t times by 1 over t plus 9, which is this one. Okay, so then this one equal to 1 by using the first theorem of trigonometry involve limit, and then this one you can substitute 0 here, so become 0. Therefore you can get 3 times 1 times 1 over 0 plus 9. So you can get 3 over 9, which is 1 over 3. So that is the answer for question A. Now, looks on question B. Also a same thing this one. So you have limit t approaches to 0. Sine square t divided by 3t square. So we know that this one is sine square. So, and we can move outside the 3 here. We can get 1 over 3 limit t approaches to 0 sine t square divided by t square. So this one 1 over 3 limit t approaches to 0, since both sides upper and lower part is square. So we can combine here, we can get sine t over t square. And we know that sine t over t equal to 1 and then square. So we can get 1 square. So here 1 over 3 times by 1 square equal to 1 over 3. So this is the answer for question B, which is 1 over 3. And now, looks on question C. Also a same thing, limit x approaches to 0. So now, we can solve this one. Limit x approaches to 0, x plus 1 cube sine x over 2x. So, if you can see here, this one is equal to 1 sine x over x. So this one equal to 1. Here substitute is 0. So we can get 0 plus 1 cube 1 over 2. This one which is 2 here. So we can get 1 over 2 only. Sorry. 1 over 2 is the answer here. Okay, so that is the answer for question C, which is 1 over 2. Okay, now D. D also same things. You have constant here. We can move outside. We can get 1 over 5 limit x approaches to 0 sine x over x. As we can see here, the angle is x, your denominator is square root of x. So you must modify your denominator becomes x. So if you have square root of x at denominator, you want to change in terms of x. So we know that square root of x times by square root of x equal to x. So you must times by square root of x here, upper part also times square root of x. So we can get 1 over 5 limit x approaches to 0, square root of x sine x divided by square root of x times by square root of x equal to x. So here this one equal to 1. Okay, and then substitute 0 here, we can get 1 over 5 times by square root 0 times by 1. So your answer is 0. So that is the answer for D, which is 0. Okay, for E also a same thing. So this one involve plus here, we can split. Okay, split this one become limit theta approaches to 0. So it's become 2 theta square over 4 theta plus sine theta over 4 theta. Okay, so you can simplify this one, become 2 theta only. Okay, and then this one, if you can see, equal to 1 if we apply the first theorem. So this one we can get 2 times 0 divided by 4 plus 1 over 4. So this one becomes 0, so you can get 1 over 4. Okay, next question F. Limit x approaches to 0, 6x divided by 6x minus sine 2x divided by 2x plus 3 sine 4x. So this one we can solve by using trigonometric identities, but this one we must divide by x, both part upper and lower part, which is 6x minus sine 2x divided by x divided by x. Okay, because we want to use the first theorems on involve trigo. So 2x divided by x plus 3 sine 4x divided by x. We not change the value of the function because all the parts we divide by same value, which is x. So therefore we can simplify. This one become 6, this one become 2. Since the angle for the first part involve 2x, so denominator should have 2x, we times by 2. If we times 2 here, the upper part also should times by 2. Also same thing for this one, involve 4, so we must times by 4. The upper part also times by 4. So we can see that this one become 1 and then this one become 1. So we can solve this one after substitute. So you can get 6 minus 2 divided by 2 plus 12. Okay, so this one supposedly times by 1 lah, doesn't matter whether you write it or not. So you can get 4 divided by 14, which is 2 over 7. So that is the answer for question F. Okay, now looks on question G. You have limit x approaches to 0, sine 4x divided by sine 8x. Also a same thing, we must modify these equations become sine 4x divided by x divided by sine 8x divided by x. Means that here the upper parts divided by x, the lower parts divided by x. So we not change the value of the function. Since the angle involve 4x, so you must times by 4 here. Upper part also should times by 4. Since the angle involve 8x, you should times by 8, and here is 8. So we can see that this one, which is equal to 1, this one equal to 1. So you can get 4 over 8, which is 1 over 2. So that is the answer for question G. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.